Welcome back to another episode of the CBL X's and O's podcast for season 2023. We've got Sammy Gazzo, the new Division 1 men's Big V coach for Mildura. Congratulations, Sammy. That was announced during the last week, and we're going to preview round 6 in the Northwest Conference.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for that, Matty. I do have to correct you, though. It's Division 2, unfortunately, at the moment. But if you're preempting Division 1 after we win or something of that nature, or maybe, hold on, haven't you got a job at a Big V now, moving on from CBL, maybe promotion there for us? I appreciate it in advance. But yeah, mate, looking forward to round 6 of the CBL, my friend.
Got that confused. The women are in Division 1. So, anywho, let's move on to the men.
I know.
Let's go to the men. Kyneton take on Swan Hill at home.
Yep.
Is this where Kyneton potentially get that first win for the season?
Yeah, well, looking at obviously the two teams and their records, it's as good a chance as they're going to get. So they'd be looking forward to, that on Saturday night, especially having had the break. So Swan Hill played on the Sunday, obviously last week against us, and having to travel down to Kyneton, which isn't too bad a drive, but a couple of hours there. So yeah, I think Kyneton, this is their chance. They'll be up and about, ready to go. So hopefully the rest has done them good, and they'll be ready to go for Swan Hill on Saturday.
And Maryborough are travelling across to Echuca to take on the Pirates. And after their performance last week by beating Castlemaine, giving them their first L for the season, they'll be looking to continue and keep that winning streak going.
Yeah, you'd be thinking Maryborough will still be riding a high after that great win against Castlemaine last week. And Echuca are coming off the bye, so they'll be a little bit refreshed. But like we've said a few times, Maryborough have got the talent. Their record probably doesn't show as good as what we would have thought. Well, just their record, their wins and losses more than anything else. The talent is there, so we'd probably expect them to go in and give Echuca some trouble, definitely.
And Castlemaine travel across to Red Energy Arena to take on the Bendigo Braves in what is second versus third. How good is this for a game?
Yeah, 100%. Get out to Bendigo, everybody, Castlemaine and Bendigo fans, or even just basketball fans. That will be a cracker. What do you say? It's going to be an absolute cracker. We haven't faced Castlemaine yet. We know a lot of their better players in Josiah and Trent and Chris down there, so we're expecting a great game from them. And how do you go past Lockie O'Brien and Isaac Murphy and those boys down there? So look, game of the round, do we say? Obviously we have a great game against Melton as well, but you got to go out and have a look. I couldn't pick the two squads at a moment. That'll be a great game. Great game.
It's going to be a sensational one. And then you mentioned it, Melton are travelling to Mildura to take on you guys, the Heat. This is pretty much do or die for Melton's season. If they come in to the hot house and beat you guys, it probably keeps their season alive to make top 4. And if they come in and get the L, it might be a bit tougher for them for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, exactly right. That loss last week puts them in an interesting position there at 5th, obviously with Macedon there 4th. So, look, it's unlike Melton to drop a couple of games. Mick has got a really great team out there, and we really do respect them. They won last year, and we play against them quite a bit in the Big V as well. So, we see them quite a bit. We know how much they love playing against us, and we love playing against them just because we respect them and their program. So, we're expecting a red-hot crack, and hopefully we'll be ready. But, I expect a crack of the game as well, definitely.
I should have mentioned earlier, grand final rematch. Hey, grand final rematch. You'll be wanting to take the W and silence them for the rest of the season.
Oh, look, I know these grand final rematches don't really mean too much because you know what? They got the banner that says winners, champions, and we got the runners up. So even to win a grand final rematch, it's like, yeah, we got you, but doesn't really mean as much. So it might mean much if we played them in the actual final or something, then it'd be a little bit more. But that's gone and dusted. For us, it's about making sure we're at home. You want guard home court, and we've got 3 weeks to sort of hopefully tune ourselves the right way for finals. We want to play a certain standard of basketball, and Melton will be the same way. So they understand their record and where they are, and we'll be expecting their best shot, definitely.
And then Sunday, Echuca, they're traveling down the highway to take on Bendigo. And, this is going to be a very interesting game, especially with Bendigo coming off that sensational clash with Castlemaine on the Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. Echuca obviously had the bye, and they'll have Maryborough, so it'll be tough as well at home. And, going over to Bendigo, look, it does seem like Bendigo sort of hit their straps after, losing 2. They've won the last 2. I think it'd be tough for Echuca to go in there and get the W. Bendigo will be pretty focused. You think they'll either be on a high or be focused after a loss. So it'd be interesting to see where they are after Saturday night. But dare say they'll be tough to beat at home.
And then Macedon travel across to Maryborough after not playing Saturday night. Maryborough have got a tussle Saturday night against Echuca. So this is going to be a really good game. And, Macedon need to keep winning to keep their spot in the top 4.
Yeah, exactly, and that's probably where it's interesting. I think is Macedon having not played last week, so they had the bye last week, and then playing on the Sunday. So a little bit of an advantage, obviously, with Maryborough playing on the Saturday night. But it'll be a tough place to go in and get a W. And Macedon want to keep that 4th spot, depending what happens with Melton over the weekend. They'll want to keep winning, so that'll actually be a cracker game as well. Both teams. Maryborough wanting to keep some form and get those Ws and some upsets if they're not able to make that top 4, and Macedon trying to stay in that top 4, definitely.
And then Melton on the travel home, they pull into Swan Hill to take on the Flyers, and Swan Hill aren't an easy beat especially when they're at home. So this will be a really good game, and fresh legs. They play Saturday night, so they've got to travel home, but they still should put up a really good fight against Melton.
Yeah, definitely. Remembering as well, Swan Hill did beat Bendigo after they had played us on the Saturday night. So anybody thinking they're just going to walk into Swan Hill and get a win is really not giving Swan Hill any credit. They gave us a great crack last week, and it won't be any sort of an easy task there for Melton. So, and I'm sure they know that. Again, Mick's a great coach, and he's got them, I think, where he wants them as such in regards to their standards. So they'll be going in there ready to give a good crack, and Swan Hill have an opportunity to play a team on a Sunday at home, and they'll depending on what happens Saturday too. They've got Crichton on the Saturday, so not far travel, but Swan Hill might want to get, instead of finishing 1-1 or something of that nature, they might want to try and pick up 2 Ws here. So I'm sure Melton will be ready for the challenge.
And then we'll go over to the women, and, Crichton, top of the table, take on Swan Hill. Swan Hill traveling, they can still easily overcome the Crichton Tigers if they don't show.
Yeah, well, seeing them play last week, they played really well and gave it a good crack, and, got some points on the board. So you'd expect Swan Hill to go in there and give Crichton, obviously a good crack, but, they're Crichton a tough team to beat, and I think at home they defend their court pretty well. So I think Crichton might get over the line.
And Faith McKenzie and the Maryborough Blazers travel across in what I'd call a bit of a rivalry game between Maryborough and Bendigo. Bendigo do not want to get another loss. They've already had 2 for the season. That's enough for them, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to throw names out there, Faith McKenzie, do I have to throw out Bobby and Lavinia? Do I have to give them credit on the Bendigo side? I'm gonna. So there they go. They get another plug. But yeah, they'll be tough at home. You think Bendigo after those losses probably would have fine-tuned some things, and Maryborough will be a tough ask. But yeah, Bendigo.
And Melton take on Mildura. That's going to be a really good game, 2nd versus 4th. It's gonna show whether Melton are going to finish top 2 this season, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the game of the round out on the women's side. Again, Melton having the break. Expect them to come in tough and ready to go. And I guess for our side with the women's, it's about defending home court and they'll have, their full roster for one of the first times this year. So they'll be excited by that. And yeah, that'll be a cracker. So I plugged the Bendigo and Castlemaine game. I probably didn't plug our game enough. So we expect anybody watching from Mildura or even coming up from Melton or anybody around that wants to come watch. Hopefully 2 cracking games in the women's and the men's. So yeah, come out and watch and support basketball. If you're not going to support any team in particular, we appreciate it.
And then Sunday, Macedon travel across to Maryborough, and they'll be looking to get their first win for the season. And, not playing on the Saturday night with Maryborough playing against Bendigo, this is probably this is an opportunity for them to get that first win for the season.
Yeah, come on, Macedon. We want to win. Let's go. Get it together, ladies. We're expecting a tough crack, especially with Maryborough going into Bendigo on the Saturday night. That'll be a tough game for the women, either or. So you think Maryborough might hold home floor, but come on, Macedon. We're rooting for you to get off the donuts. Get a win. Let's go.
And then Swan Hill hosting Melton on the Sunday in the women. Swan Hill have put up a really good fight last week, and potentially it's not going to be, again, an easy job for Melton to go into Swan Hill and get the W.
No, exactly right. Probably tougher. Well, if anything, it might be tougher for Swan Hill, just in the sense that you're Kyneton on the Saturday night are going to be tough. So what have you got? You got 1 and 2, 2 days after each other. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond, even though they are playing at home. But yeah, expect Melton to come in there, and I think they'll take care of business on that.
And Bacchus Marsh take on top of the table Kyneton. They really need the win to stay in that arm's reach of the top 4. I think if they come out of this game with the L, it could be the end of the season for them.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. The good thing is Kyneton play on the Saturday night. So they'll have potentially a little bit of tired legs, whereas Bacchus Marsh will be a little refreshed and having not played on the Saturday night. So, yeah, season on the line. Expect Bacchus Marsh to give them a crack, and hopefully Layla's there playing. Not sure the outcome of her injury status at the moment, but hopefully she's up and ready and playing, and the full team gets a good crack at it. So, hopefully a good game out there at St. Francis. Get a sausage on the way through. Is that what we're saying? If you're there, sausage sizzles going on, we're plugging it. Get it. Don't walk past. Grab one on the way through.
That's it. Definitely pick up a sausage from Lee as you go past. And that's our round 6 preview for the Northwest. And you may have seen earlier today, Sammy, that the grand final locations have been announced. And we're going to Melton for the Northwest. Your team's potentially going to be playing in that. What do you think going into Melton, packed stadium? Hopefully it sells out. Should be an exciting atmosphere, that one.
Look, I have to be honest. I am a little bit upset. I was hoping Drew would get it, but I totally understand the logistics that does take. So excited for Melton. Melton Stadium is great. Cobbleback Stadium, is that where we're playing?
Correct. Cobbleback Stadium.
Yeah, great stadium. Again, great association. We're hopefully one of those teams that plays there. We've played there a few times, CBL and Big V, and the stadium out there is phenomenal. So, great choice by you guys at Basketball Victoria, and we're just hoping that we're one of the teams that plays there. But yeah, great choice, great atmosphere. They get numbers there, and it seems like the community will get around it. Whoever gets there, and so yeah, congratulations to Melton. That's obviously a great achievement, and we'll see how we go. Hopefully, we're one of those two. I'm sure they got competing teams in both the men's and the women. So hearing that might give them a little pep in the step. So, that's great.
That's it. Congratulations to Melton, who are going to be our grand final hosts in the Northwest Conference for season 2023. Good luck to all teams this weekend. I'm looking forward to jumping on a call with you next week, Sammy, as we get to review round 6. And, hopefully at the end of next week, we've got a little bit more information. Our ladders are hopefully still all over the shop, because who wants stable ladders, hey?
Exactly right. We want upsets everywhere, don't we? Well, not even upsets. We just want teams that are supposed to win, that are up high, to lose to teams that are lower, or except for us, maybe. But yeah, I think a bit of chaos makes it a bit more interesting than maybe some top 4 all the time. But we'll see how we go. The women's section might almost be there, and I think it's a big weekend for Melton and Macedon Rangers in the men's. So yeah, I think this time next week we'll be having a bit more of an in-depth chat about where the ladder's looking with 2 rounds to go.
That's it. Good luck to teams over the weekend, and I will catch you next week when we get to review what is round 6 in the Northwest Conference.